Drink of this pond.
Yeah! Toxic waste. What a first date.
Why is it green? What?
I feel like you were just getting to the chorus. Toxic.
Waste.
Toxic waste
is a really good waste.
Toxic
if I'm gonna
waste.
rate all the waste,
How
it
about
will
something
be
about-
the greatest.
toxic waste date. I like the direction you're going.
I'm on a toxic waste date.
Okay.
It's a toxic waste date.
I am not kidding. Speaking of toxic waste, I don't know how. I honestly, I don't. You know, I know that we went there and we learned something, but
Something.
we didn't ever really ask how they figure out like what manure tastes like.
Well, Chef Jeff, I didn't want to ask Chef Jeff. Did you notice that every time like we were like struggling to drink the stuff, like you would just kind of see him and kept it.
Oh, he can take anything.
He was like excited about it, just drinking the stuff.
All I can say is,
I don't know what Chef Jeff,
if you can
what his reconnaissance.
just imagine going to a barnyard. You've been to a petting zoo, right?
Oh yeah, I love
And there's like
nothing I love more.
feces and urine soaked straw.
And toddlers.
Toddlers and like hair, like sheep hair. If you were to take that and put it in a ball and you were to squeeze
Into your mouth.
and it was a little drop came out of that. That is the flavor that was all up in that milkshake. And that night, I went home and for the rest of the day, because of the soda and then the milkshake on top of it, I had these burps and it would be like a barnyard burp. And it would like fill up a whole car, anywhere I was, the rest of the day. And it was just.
Did you warn your family?
I told them what had happened.
But they didn't believe it until they smelled it.
I think Shepard complained about it. I think I did it in the car that night. I said, "Dad, you burp?"
Burp, burp.
But it went away the next morning. I was like, the barnyard's gone. But
Yeah, that was tough.
I don't know.
man.
I mean, somebody's got to taste manure. Somebody has to taste it. Maybe they just smell it.
Smell is 98% of taste.
Not true.
So that's how they know how to make it taste, by smelling.
But if you can make it smell like it, you can make it taste like it, I guess.
Right.
And one thing we didn't talk about that, I think we showed footage of this, but we didn't get into the explanation of it because it was a little technical. They had this big cannon.
And by big, we mean
Like 15
14
feet?
feet tall.
Oh, wow, we both were really close. 14 and a half feet tall.
You were 1 foot over.
And
It was a cylinder.
making
it looked
coffee
like
flavor.
It looked like a 14-foot telescope,
they were making coffee flavor.
but there wasn't a hole in the ceiling.
And he said that when they make the coffee flavor, they take coffee beans and they add a bunch of pressure to it, a bunch of heat.
They squish it.
And yeah, squish it and squish it and squish it and squish it and squish it. And they're slowly squeezing out the essence of coffee. And it's like, it's so strong that like a drop could flavor like, you know, a lot of coffee flavored stuff. It was like you couldn't, he said this in the video about how if you put these flavors on your tongue, you wouldn't taste it for like a day. They're
Yeah.
so concentrated.
Weaponized. It was our interpretation of it.
But I can get into that squishing stuff to
Really
make flavors.
fascinating. And then, you know, the assault on the nose when you go in there is just
Yeah, it's all on your nose?
was just. I don't know how you'd work in there all day. I mean, they had like the paper surgeon masks on, but dang, I mean, their nasal capabilities have to be
Did
compromised.
you see anybody on the plane with those
No,
when you flew?
no.
I saw a few.
Is that
people.
back?
Yeah, I saw a whole family with those things on the plane I was on recently.
What else?
They
was
must have
fun
worked at the
about
Flavor
that?
Factory.
Making the bacon wrench was a lot of fun. Not as fun as we made it look for you guys, but it was still fun. I mean, he's in there by himself all day in that lab making flavors all by himself. He was a great sport, though. You guys, some people in the comments. I'm not gonna say you because you get us.
I would say a lot of people in the comments.
But a lot of people in the comments who aren't you because you get us, like feel like sorry for the people that we interact with. But I feel like we're having fun with these people. And he was singing.
He's making noises.
And he was making the
fart noises. He's making fart noises, people.
I don't know how he made that one drop noise. I'm not one of those guys who can make that
Bill
noise.
can do it though.
I bet Morgan, I bet you're one of those guys who can do
I bet you look like one of those guys making the mouth noise.
You can do a drop with your cheek, can't you? Eddie, I bet you can do it. You got too much beard.
It does insulate it.
Kevin can't do it, I can tell.
I can look at that face still.
I can look at that cheek and tell there ain't no drop coming out of it. Can anyone here do it? Chase is trying to do it.
What about this?
We can all do that. But yeah, he was.
But hold on. But you were making a point that I think is an important point to make.
That no one can do this, but everyone can do this.
Yeah. The whole because we were just talking about this recently and we actually talked about it. If you listen to Ear Biscuits, in the Ear Biscuits that we did live from VidCon, I talked about it. The whole thing about whenever we interact with people on camera, so many people are like, I can't watch this, it's too awkward. You guys didn't take this seriously. It's like, let's just be honest for a second. Do you guys really think that we're gonna go work at a flavor factory?
Maybe. No.
We're doing it to entertain you. That's how that's why we do it. We do it to entertain you.
I just want you to be entertained.
So don't just the awkwardness is good. Just embrace it. You need more awkwardness in your life.
No, I think but they were also good sports,
Yeah, it isn't like when we leave a place, people are like, those guys are so crazy. I can't believe we'd let them in here. They're like, they watch the show. Like everyone we've gone to work with, they've seen the other ones where we've gone and worked with people. They know what's about to happen. Rest assured.
But if they haven't, that's their own.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox and drink my water.
Your flavor box. What was the best flavor that we savored there? Because the bacon was pungent.
The bacon, yeah. The ranch.
I love that one shot where like you drink the bacon soda, and like you can tell that like I didn't think I liked it, but then when you liked it, I was like, maybe I'll like it too. If you watch that part back, you can see that like I changed my reaction.
You're about to say, I hate this.
I was like, oh, it's good. It wasn't bad once you.
Well, I think in my mind, I was also anticipating where this was going to go. Like I knew
how bad
that we were going to make bad flavors for each other.
So if that wasn't good,
so
it was about to be a world of hurt.
This bacon ranch is going to taste good. I don't care if it tastes bad. It's going to taste good, and I made my mind believe that it tasted good.
And here's the other thing: Chef Jeff may not be crazy because he knew what the things were that we were drinking. So and he had tasted them. So once you know what it is, you can prepare yourself mentally and you can evaluate it. When you're just tasting it blind. And you're tasting with fear. You can't. It's just like life. You can't taste with fear. You have to taste with. You have to embrace the taste. Embrace the taste of life. Don't be afraid of the taste.
Where's the analogy?
Where's the analogy?
There wasn't one.
There's not an analogy.
It's just a command.
Embrace the taste of life.
Embrace the taste of life.
Yes.
Without fear.
When you're afraid,
don't fear taste. Embrace the taste.
When you're afraid of trying something that you have no clue what it is,
you should embrace it.
It's going to be hard to enjoy it.
That's right. And hey, listen, it's going to get awkward.
Or
it may get awkward when you're tasting life. Sometimes life gets awkward, but just don't fear it. Just taste it.
Embrace it.
And don't comment about it.
But if I knew it was spoiled milk, I think it would have tasted better.
Well, this is another little secret that it didn't make it into the cut, true. But he put sour milk in my Barnyard milkshake as well. He actually starts to say that in the video.
Yeah.
But it didn't really make a lot of sense, but he threw sour milk in there because he thought it would be funny. And I think sour milk was the worst part of the Barnyard. And you gotta think, sour milk's in a barnyard because you're milking the cow and some gets over the bucket.
Some gets on,
spoils
some gets on the sheep.
Yeah,
wool.
You got sheep wool soaked milk. You got
And toddlers are licking
sheep
that up.
wolf milk. Hey, did you hear about the wolf pack that's back in California? They found wolves, California. Wolf milk. That's next.